Okay, so today I'm in Oldham and I'm here to check out a food hall that might be the best I've been to so far. It's called the Egyptian Room and it's got fantastic reviews. So let's go check it out, see what it's like and see what food it sells. It's a really cold day here in Oldham and in the UK in general. I think it's about -2 degrees, so absolutely freezing. Anyway, I think the place I'm looking for is just up ahead. And here it is, the Egyptian Room food hall. And it looks like a pretty nice place from the outside. Let's head in and check it out. It looks really fancy in here. Check this out. So you have really high ceilings, big columns, and a kind of Egyptian theme, which I think is probably where the name comes from. Well, let's have a walk around and see what food stalls they have. Okay, so the food stalls that you have in here are, at the entrance I think you've got a coffee and cake place with desserts, the pasta and pizza place. Moving on in, you have a bar on the left, and then some more food stalls. So having a closer look, I think you've got a wings place, burgers, some more burgers. I think you've got a Caribbean place and an Asian street food place. Plus, you do have an upstairs area, which let's go have a walk around and see what you've got upstairs. Any more food stalls? Nope, so there's some more seating. But the view from up here is pretty amazing. I mean, check it out down there. A really fancy looking food hall. Right, I think I'm going to order a selection of food from the different stalls and I'll join you at a table. Okay, I've just found out the way that it works is you find a table and you scan the QR code, which I'm doing now, and then you order on your phone and they'll bring it up to your table. But you can go down to the stalls and order directly from them. But I think what I'm going to do is order from the app, pay for it on the app, and then they'll bring it straight up to me. Okay, and some of my food has arrived, which looks and smells delicious. I'm still waiting on one more item, but I did also get a cup of tea with my meal. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is make this cup of tea and wait for my last item to arrive and then try it all. Right, so everything I ordered has arrived, and I think I've ordered a bit more food than I was expecting, but let me give you a closer look at exactly what I got. Right, so this is my meal. The first thing I went for was this Cambodian curry, which looked pretty interesting because you don't see Cambodian food that often, but this looks and smells delicious. The second thing I went for, I thought this was a bit of a starter, but I went to the Caribbean food stall and got something called a split, which I think is a Caribbean dumpling. And check out the size of that, it looks like a massive jacket potato. And then for dessert I went with a lemon meringue pie plus my cup of tea. Let's dig in to this absolutely massive feast. Okay, so I'm going to start off with what I thought I ordered was a starter, which is the Caribbean split. Now have a look at the size of that. That is absolutely massive. So it's a huge dumpling filled with, looks like chicken, herbs, spices, got a salad on the side and a dipping sauce. Let's try it out. I don't even know where to start with this one, but I think I might just go straight for some of this filling. So this is Caribbean chicken, Caribbean jerk chicken with peppers, carrots, looks like coriander, smells fantastic. Let's see how it tastes. Okay, so that is delicious, and it's also pretty spicy. You get a bit of a kick. I can feel it in the back of my throat now, but the flavors are fantastic. You definitely get the jerk flavor coming through, the chilies for sure, the coriander adds a bit of a fragrance to it, but it's a nice chicken filling. But let's try out the actual split, I think it's called, or this dumpling. So I think this is the first time I've ever had one of these, but that's one half of it, which is absolutely huge. I mean, it's massive. A nice golden brown color on it. It's got some of the jerk chicken sauce filling on it. I think I'm just going to go straight in for a bite. So that is delicious. Have a look at that Caribbean dumpling. It's kind of like a bready cake texture. So the outside is crispy, golden brown. The inside is soft and fluffy. You get some of the flavor of the jerk seasoning too. But this is quite surprising. It's really, really nice. I think I have to try some of this split dumpling in this sauce. Now it looks, again, a little spicy. So I'm only going to dip in a little bit. But again, how good does that look? Let's try it. Okay, so this sauce is kind of like a bit of a sort of a salsa sauce. It's a bit of a tomato flavor to it, but it does go well with this split dumpling. But I think what I really need to do is a combo bite with everything on it. So I've got the split Caribbean dumpling, the jerk chicken filling, plus this sort of tomatoey salsa-y sauce. Let's go straight in with a dip of that. Here it goes. You know, the more you eat, the kind of more you get used to the spice, and it's not as spicy as it first seems. You do also have a bit of salad on the side as well with a nice dressing, and I think that is probably going to cool down a bit of the spice as well. I have to come back to this Caribbean split dumpling one more time though, because it's a pretty unusual item which I've never actually seen before and I've never actually heard of before, but it's really surprised me how good this is. I really, really like this split Caribbean dumpling. It's kind of a cross between a bread, a cake, maybe like a scone or like an American biscuit. And then when you soak up the sauce and add the chicken in there, it's a really good bite of food. Right, next up, let's move on to this Caribbean curry. Now check that out. So I got it with chicken again, but you get some jasmine rice, you get some potatoes, some veg in there, some peppers, onions, I think some carrot too, and there's coconut milk in there, I think some basil as well. Let's give it a try. Let's go in for some of the chicken first. So here it is, the Cambodian curry. Bit of chicken there. I've got the sauce on it. Let's try it. Okay, straight away you get the flavour of lemongrass. That really does come through, that lemony, sort of soury flavour. You get the coconut milk flavour as well, which is creamy and sweet. You get the flavour of the chicken. The sauce is thick and creamy, and it really, really does coat everything. So when you take a bite, You get a nice mouthful of the sauce too. Have a look at that perfectly cooked chicken. Let's try out some of the veg. So I think in here you do get some potato, you get some peppers, some red peppers, some green beans as well. But let's try out the pepper with that curry sauce. So that red pepper, again, really, really delicious. You get a good crunch from it. It's not totally soft. You get a good bite. It's sweet. You get a little bit of freshness coming through as well. And then the curry sauce with that coconut milk and lemongrass. You really taste the flavors of it. You do get some jasmine rice on the side, and let's try out some of that as well. I think there was an option to add egg fried rice, but at an extra cost. So this jasmine rice comes as standard. Let's try it. Okay, so that rice is nice and fragrant. It's soft, a little sticky too, and I think this is going to go perfect with the curry. So let's try a bite with the rice and the curry. So here it is, a combo bite of the Cambodian curry. So you've got the rice, the chicken in there, the red pepper, and I think a bit of potato too. So let's try it. So what I thought was potato is not actually potato. So that is actually bamboo shoot. At first I wasn't too sure what that was, because it's kind of like a bit of the texture of pineapple, really juicy when you bite into it, and you can taste like the individual strands, but you mix it in with the Cambodian curry sauce and it gives you a bit of that heat, a bit of that lemongrass flavour, and a bit of that spice as well. Sometimes curries can be a little bit heavy with the flavours and the sort of cream that's in there, but with this it's not too heavy. It's kind of almost light and fresh. I think the red pepper and the green beans and bamboo shoots, I think they help with that because they add a bit of a moisture and that fresh crunch that vegetables give. I do like to try out different combos when I eat, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix some of that Caribbean split dumpling, which is amazing, I have to say. If you haven't tried this before, I think you definitely need to try it. And I'm going to dip this in the Cambodian curry sauce. So get some of that coconutty lemongrass flavour in there. Have a look at that. Not sure if this is going to work, but let's give it a go. So that surprisingly works. I think this Caribbean split dumpling is a revelation and a must-try thing when you come here, because I think no matter what you dip this in, what sauce you have it with, what meat, it's delicious. Okay, and for dessert I have a lemon meringue pie. Have a look at that. Got the layer of meringue on top, the lemon, and the pastry underneath. But I think before I try that, let's have a quick sip of tea. Right, let's get a slice of this lemon meringue pie. Okay, so check this out. Fluffy meringue that kind of wobbles around. You've got the pie crust, the lemon in there. Let's try it out. That is a great lemon meringue pie. You can see how wobbly and bouncy the meringue is. It's almost like a marshmallow. It's sweet, it's soft, it's bouncy. And then you get the lemon, which is a little tart in flavour. And then you get the pie crust as well, which is a little stodgy, but I think that's what you need with this type of pie. And it cuts perfectly through the other flavours in the meal and can kind of hold its own. Right, I'm going to finish up the rest of this meal, or eat as much as I can, and then I'll see you outside where I'll give you a breakdown of the costs of this meal at the Egyptian Room in Oldham. Thanks. What an amazing meal that was, and great venue too. The architecture was really impressive. Okay, let me give you a breakdown of the cost of that meal. The cost of the Caribbean split dumpling was £6, which I think is really good value considering the size of it. When I first read that it was a dumpling, I thought it was going to be these small little dumplings, but that was massive. So I think definitely worth the price. The Cambodian chicken curry, that was £12, which I think is not too bad considering it was really tasty. And then the lemon and meringue pie, that was £5, and the pot of tea, £2.70. So all in all, I think the total price was £25.70. Okay, if you like the video and think I should brave the cold for a few more, click on the like button below and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.